Hey, old Chris Mystery cleaning ones of the Far Coast. Yes, lockdown is easing. Yes, I know the barbers are open before you grill me over my hair. You know, bite me. Get there when I get there. Massive thanks to those of you that have subscribed to the channel. Appreciate the support. We are over 400 subscribers, which is amazing. Thank you very much. And I've had a number of calls and emails, etc., from subscribers asking various questions and stuff like that. So I spoke to John over the phone, who's from Blackburn. Hope you're keeping well, mate. So yeah, I hope you're not a Rovers fan. I'm a Wanderers fan, so you know, stand by. But no, joking aside, John was asking about ladders and stuff like that, and you know, sort of, he's had a bit of a fall and he's a bit nervous at height. It's understandable. I have had a fall from a ladder. I only fell from a conservatory roof as well onto some pots, and that damn well nearly broke my hip. So you know, I got away with some heavy bruising, but you know, you've got to watch yourself. And this was before I took on my first member of staff, and I was lay there for about an hour before the lady on the house kind of realised I was in clip on the floor. So you know, naughty, shouldn't be doing that really. But it is what it is, and these things happen. And so yeah, I had a fall before I took on a member of staff, and I remember thinking to myself, no, I could probably do with some help here now. So the lad I took on was a young guy called Steve, who was a labourer on a building site who just lost his job. Who was, you know, he was a really, really good guy. He came on and he did all the ladder work and stuff like that. I was really, really nervous about ladder work after that. So it was helpful to have someone there that was okay with it. And yeah, there's no shame in collaborating with people. If you don't, you know, let's say, yes, you know, so if you want to go and do a gutter face soffit job or something like that, and you are not a fan of ladders, there are ways around it, and one of those is to bring in someone who's okay with ladders and give them a proportion of the cost of the job. And you know, this happens all the time in businesses. You've got, like, you know, I mean, it sounds daft. You look at Apple, Steve Jobs, I'm absolutely convinced, knew nothing about programming, knew nothing about how computers work, much less how to make a phone with cameras and all this sort of stuff, and you know, with all these apps and gizmos and all that jazz. I'm absolutely convinced he knew absolutely nothing about that. But he brought in a very clever guy called Rob Wozniak, who was a programmer, who basically built the iPhone, amongst other people, built the iPhone. Now the thing is, Steve Jobs could have quite easily just gone, oh, sod it, you know, sod, this is too much hard work. This I can't do it all myself. And a big part of why some businesses don't get really off the ground, or they stall, is because, you know, guys and girls starting out think they've got to do everything themselves, and it's just not the case. So, you know, if you're not that massively keen on ladders, you know, own it, you know, and just say, right, okay, well, I want to get someone who's a bit more confident on ladders and stuff, and pay him a proportion of the job. You know, there's always a solution. So but yeah, no, it was a good little chat we had with me and John, and yeah, thanks for your question, thanks for supporting the channel. I've also spoken to a young lad called Scott, who was asking me about resin, DI resin, and how long does it last. So this is, you know, I mean, how long is a piece of string is the honest answer, right? Okay, how long your resin will last will depend on a couple of things. Okay, it depends on how many jobs you have. You know, are you using pure DI only? You know, are you know, if you've got, you know, what, it depends on your water purity as well. So I'd be massively interested to hear where people are from where the subscribers are from on the channel, and what your water purity is, if you run window cleaning businesses and stuff like that. I mean, I know where we live on the Far Coast, it's currently comes out the tap at around anywhere from 180 to 220 parts per million. So it's quite hard water. If you live in an area where there's softer water, you know, that might come out, I don't know, at maybe, you know, 90 or, you know, whatever, then it might last twice as long for the same amount of jobs. You just don't know. And water purity can change depending on what United Utilities put in the water, or what the lines are like that bring the water to your house and stuff. So well, all I would say is, if you've got a DI only system, as I did. So when I very first started, I had a DI only system, and the DI wasn't lasting very long once I got to the point where I was doing about 20 to 30 jobs a day. When I was doing 20 or 30 jobs a day, over a 4-week rota, I was changing that the resin maybe every 4 or 5 weeks. It wasn't lasting, and each bag's like 95 quid, so it's not a cheap do. So what I did was I invested in my static water system, which is in my garage, and I'll leave a link to the video where I show me a DI static tank. And I've gone from doing a resin change every 4 weeks or 5 weeks to every 12 to 14 months, which is a lot more economical. The kit cost about £1,000 altogether, with the bits I've put onto it. But you know, it saved me. You know, it saved me that. You know, in my first year, I made my money back straight away, no drama. So yeah. All I would say is, if you've got a DI only system and you've only got a handful of customers, you might get away with it if you're in a soft water area. If you're in a hard water area, then I think you might want to think about pre-filtering your water as we do for both of our vans. So yeah, I'd just say keep an eye on your TDS with your TDS meter, and as soon as it goes above 0, you're probably looking at days before because it will go 0, pure, and then all of a sudden it'll go, you know, 001, and then a couple of days later it might be 009, and then all of a sudden it'll just go doof. You know, the resin will have completely worn out. So you know, water purity can change as soon as the resin wears out pretty quickly, and it can go at any time. So yeah, it's just something you just need to take, you know, keep an eye on, and try and gauge with your round. You know, so I mean, like I say, 30 jobs a day, and I was doing resin change every 4 weeks or 5 weeks. So just have to see if it's worth getting an RO filter for you. So right, it is now 7:15 on a Thursday, and I'm going to knock it on the head for today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. All the very best. Hopefully I'll have had a haircut by then.